is a beautiful thing. It grows to the quiver of a fife that sings. I can take it with the wave of my hand and place it upon my music stand. Such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Special shout out now to those of you who are watching this as a recorded video. We post all of my talks on 3 different video platforms. We post them on BitChute and Rumble and YouTube. So please subscribe to whatever platform you are watching this on. And also, I know that some people, instead of being here live with the Zoom meeting, are watching this on YouTube. And that is great, but I encourage you to step forward sometime and join us right here on the Zoom meeting. We would love to see you. And then you get a chance to really participate and share at the end of the gathering. So we're grateful that you're watching us on YouTube, and you're always invited to be here right in the Zoom meeting with everybody. We'd love to see your smiling face, or you can turn your camera off, but we'll see your little rectangle with your name, and we will know you are here. Okay. There's a pretty strong sentiment in the A Course in Miracles community, and I keep pretty close tabs on the Course in Miracles community through my work on Facebook and being the admin in that really large A Course in Miracles group that I'm the admin of with, we're just about ready to hit 54,000 members. That's pretty large, pretty broad. But there is a thought system or an interpretation of A Course in Miracles that when so-called bad things happen in the world, that we're supposed to just not focus on them, kind of ignore them. Rise above them and ignore them and not let us bother them, not let those things bother us. And of course, those things would include sickness of the body, both our bodies and bodies of others who we may see around us. But it also means any other kind of problem or manifestation of lack or disaster or war or socioeconomic conditions or the economy or the government or whatever, that we're supposed to just not focus in on them and ignore them. And I do not think that is what A Course in Miracles is teaching, really, at all. Though I understand why students, especially many new students, might embrace that idea, because when you're new, especially, the entire world seems just so vast and overwhelming, and what could you possibly do to have an influence on that? But that's a lot of what the whole A Course in Miracles thought system is about. So I do not think A Course in Miracles tells us to ignore these issues or to ignore the problems or the illness. I think it wants us to heal it, to heal all of them, to heal the sickness, to heal the issues that appear to be in the world. And I think it tells us that over and over again. Here's one place. It says, the one answer to sickness of any kind is healing. The one answer to all illusions is truth. So there's just one answer. There's not multiple answers. There's not many different ways we can handle it. We're only supposed to handle it in one way. We're supposed to heal it. Not a variety of ways, only one way. We heal it. Spiritual people talk about oneness all the time. I actually think this is one of the most misinterpreted of spiritual ideas. But when applied here to the manifested world, oneness would mean one response, just like that quotation just said, one answer, one response. Oneness, it applies to this world as well. The one response, the one answer to problems, to sickness, to disaster of any kind, isn't to ignore it, it's to heal it. I will heal it. I will solve it. I come from that stance all the time. I think that's what A Course in Miracles has challenged me to do, and that is what I do. I really embrace that anything I see out there that is problematic, either in my own life, in my own body, other people's bodies, other people's lives, I'll heal it. I'll solve it. Because the source of that manifestation, the source of that problem is not outside of me. The source of that issue, that problem, that appearance is my own thinking. And I will choose spirit's thinking. I will let go of ego thinking. And A Course in Miracles says this, and this was in the passage that Randy read. It says, but choose the spirit, and all heaven bends to touch your eyes and bless your holy sight, that you may see the world of flesh no more, except to heal and comfort and bless. I mean, that is what we do when we take the stand that we are spirit, that we are the Christ. We take the stand in the world that we're here not to ignore things, we're here to heal things, to comfort, and to bless. That is why we are here. And that's the stand we take. And that's the stand I take to the best of my ability every day. I choose spirit. I choose to know that I am the Christ. I am the Christ. And I don't put that off into the future. I'm going to do my absolute best to be the Christ right now, today, now, not in the future, now. I'm going to make decisions from that Christed spirit place. I'm going to affirm that I'm connected to the totality of the universe. I'm going to affirm that I'm getting guidance all the time from that totality through the Holy Spirit on how to deal with whatever there is in front of me to deal with. I stand here with you all, and I stand here to heal, to comfort, and to bless. And I know that as I do that, then I can rest assured that I will be healed and comforted and blessed in those inevitable moments when I will need it. I mean, that's a great motivation to stand in that energy. If you need some, I suppose we shouldn't need some, but if we do need some great motivation to stand in that energy is just really to understand that when we stand in that energy to the best of our ability, then we can rest assured that when we need that back, when we're challenged in our moments of need, that we will be healed and comforted and blessed by aspects that appear to be out there in the external world. The Course says this: you play the game of death, of being helpless, pitifully tied to disillusion in a world which shows no mercy to you. Yet when you accord it mercy, will its mercy shine on you? So if we want the world to be merciful to us, then we have to be merciful to the world. Yeah, sometimes it's important just to remember what the word mercy actually means. I mean, mercy means that you're going to show love and kindness towards something that probably on appearance level doesn't really call for it. You're going to have mercy. You're not going to exact a punishment from something, even if you could get a whole lot of agreement that it deserved it. I mean, let's face it, we can get a whole lot of agreement that the world situation is awful and that we should feel yicky about it. But we're going to show the world mercy. We're not going to reinforce that. We're not going to go out and get agreement for that. We're going to extend love and forgiveness to it mercifully, regardless of how it's appearing, regardless of how it may be affecting us. We're going to accord the world mercy because we know when we do that, the world will reflect that mercy back to us. And that doesn't mean ignoring anything. I mean, let's face it, ignoring things is usually some sort of form of attack. I mean, when somebody upsets you or me, I mean, I don't frequently attack them. Maybe I do, but the most common thing I want to do is just ignore them. When somebody is real negative to me, or I feel that they've attacked me, I mean, what my habit is to just ignore them. And ignoring people and situations, that's a form of attack. So this idea that we ignore things in the world that bother us, it's not really loving. It's not really merciful. It's actually a form of attack. And it's a form of anger. It's not a healing posture. I was challenged recently about my use of the word manifest, that I use the word, the world manifests and our ego thoughts manifest and the Holy Spirit thoughts can manifest as well. I want to manifest the thoughts of the Holy Spirit. And a long-term Course in Miracles student challenged me and said that, that's not really, the Course in Miracles isn't really about manifestation. And I'm sure they were thinking of it in more of a new agey kind of way, because people talk about, how to manifest, I want to manifest more abundance in my life. I want to manifest loving relationships in my life, things of that nature. And, the larger, broader A Course in Miracles community has probably rejected that idea. And so this person was telling me that, it was questioning my use of the word manifest. But, I looked it up in the A Course in Miracles book, and the word manifest or manifestation is used 35 times in A Course in Miracles. I mean, it actually is in A Course in Miracles. And A Course in Miracles uses it just like I do, just the way we do in the New Age community. Here's a quote. It says, "What you want in yourself, you will make manifest by projection. And you will accept it from the world because you put it there by wanting it." I mean, that's just what manifestation is, even in the New Agey kind of way, isn't it? We want something, we identify with it, we grok it, so they say, and we join with it, and we be it, and then we project it out into the world, and then it manifests out in the world. That's exactly what that Course in Miracles quotation said. So if you're of that thought that A Course in Miracles is not about manifesting, well, it is about manifesting. It's there 35 times. On structural issues in A Course in Miracles, I'm usually right. Not because of any kind of superior. I just read the Course probably more times. I got the guys. I probably read it more times than maybe just about anybody manifesting in the planet right now, because I pretty much did it every year, frequently twice a year with classes, and I've been studying the Course for a really, really long time. So, I probably read the entire Course completely, over 40 times. And you do something that long, I structurally, I know what's in it. I'm not saying that means I'm the most enlightened person on the planet. Uh, I'm not saying that it doesn't mean that either. But I do know what the book says. And I knew manifest was in the book. Course in Miracles community, taking off on the idea of manifesting things in the world that we think will make us happy. A Course in Miracles students will probably agree that we have the ability to live in a happy dream while we're here in the world. What there is not a lot of agreement on is just exactly what A Course in Miracles means by a happy dream. I mean, does that mean that you will be happy regardless of what's going on? You will be happy regardless of the condition of your body. You will be happy regardless of the condition of your finances. You will be happy regardless of the condition of your relationships. Yeah, it probably does. But it also means a whole lot more than that. And I think it's... And it means that we're going to be happy because of our ability to manifest things in the world that we're going to identify with happiness. And I think, fortunately, A Course in Miracles tells us exactly what it means by the happy dream. It says, the happy dream about him takes the form of the appearance of his perfect health, his perfect freedom from all forms of lack, and safety from disaster of all kinds. The miracle is proof He is not bound by loss or suffering or any form because it can so easily be changed. So you got to really take that in. And again, that's another one of those quotes that I don't think I've ever heard any Course in Miracles teacher uh, use in their teaching. But it's pretty clear that the happy dream is not just about a shift in mind. It takes the form of the appearance. It's about form. It's about appearance. And what is in that form and that appearance? Well, a perfectly healthy body, freedom from all forms of lack, safety from disaster of all kinds, and that the miracle ensures that we don't have to be worried about any of those things because we know, because we're miracle workers, that we can change those things. We can change the form. We can change the appearance. We can change what is manifesting. It's not just about a change of mind. It's not just about being happy regardless. Of course, it is about being happy regardless, but it's so much, much more than that. It's not just about a happy attitude. Our lives really should be a reflection of health and freedom from lack and safety from disaster. Actually, A Course in Miracles tells us really clearly that we're not supposed to be holding up images of our crucifixion in front of our sisters or brothers' eyes. That there's really very good reason not to do that. It says, whenever you consent to suffer pain, to be deprived, unfairly treated, or in need of anything, you but accuse your brother of attack upon God's Son. You hold the picture of your crucifixion before his eyes, that he may see his sins are writ in heaven in your blood and death, and go before him, closing off the gate and damning him to hell. So when we're manifesting lack and pain and sickness and disaster and not healing it, just thinking that, well, we could be happy regardless, we're supposed to be about healing it because we don't want to hold those pictures up for our sisters and our brothers to see. Because if we do, we're accusing them of their what they believe are their sins. Because I believe that's because everybody knows, even though they don't know it consciously, everybody knows that what is appearing before them, in front of them, is coming from them. And so if we appear in front of them sick and deprived and in lack and in the midst of disaster, there's a part of them that knows that's coming from them. And we don't want to do that. I certainly know I do not want to do that. I do not want to be a witness to any of my holy siblings' sins. I do not want to curse any of my holy siblings with painful suffering and inevitable death. And I certainly do not want to condemn them to some kind of eternal damnation in hell. I mean, what a dreadful teaching that is. I look at it now and think about how I was indoctrinated with that. I guess the teaching was in my mind. I projected out into my religious institutions, but now it just seems kind of funny. But it's really a pretty dreadful idea that because of how we lived our life, we would be judged and punished with an eternity of pain. Ugh, let go of any thoughts. If you got any of those thoughts, certainly let go of that. But we certainly don't want to do that. And that's what we do when we hold a picture of our crucifixion up in front of our sisters and brothers' eyes. So I think that alone should be motivation enough to do the healing work. Well, I'll speak for myself. It was when I really got that teaching from A Course in Miracles that it wasn't just about my healing, that my healing was important because if I didn't heal, then I was killing my brothers and sisters, actually, and torturing them and making them miserable and depressed. And that it was my responsibility to manifest my own healing because I didn't want to torture them. And I didn't want to call them sinners. I wanted to play with them and have fun with them and celebrate them, not torture them and doom them to sickness and painful death and eternal damnation. Again, dreadful. Yak. Uh, that was motivation for me. And I believe it can be motivation for all of you too. We want to demonstrate health. We want to demonstrate abundance. We want to demonstrate that we're not worried about every little thing, every little potential disaster that could befall us. We want to demonstrate that we feel that we're safe. We feel that we're safe. And how do we know that we're safe? Well, again, I mentioned it earlier, was in that first quotation that I read about the miracle. And we know that we're safe because any problem that we could have, because we're miracle workers, can so easily be changed. And get that, it's talking about the appearance and the form can so easily be changed. Not that it can be changed, I can just rise above it and not let it bother me. No, you can actually change the appearance, the form, the appearance of the form. And miracles enable you to do that. And that's why you can feel safe, because anything that comes along, you can have a miracle and you can change it. And that's indeed what we are learning. I know that this is, challenging for a lot of people. It's challenging for a lot of A Course in Miracles students. A lot of A Course in Miracles students really just don't want this interpretation. They just really want the mental interpretation that you rise above it mentally. Maybe things change in the external, maybe they don't, but our job is just to rise above it, not be at all concerned with the external. Yeah, well, that's a nice idea, but I don't really find it justified in A Course in Miracles. I just read all the quotes. You could just say that those quotes aren't important, but they are there. It's the form, it's the appearance. We change the form and we change the appearance because that form and appearance is coming from our minds. It's not external to us. This idea that we can ignore it is making it independent, somehow external to us. It's not external to us. It's a reflection of our mental condition. And I said, a lot of people just plain don't want this to be true. I could give a whole talk about why they don't want it to be true. And the Course says no evidence will convince you of the truth of what you do not want. So it doesn't really matter what I say and all the quotes, I can back it up. If you really just don't want that to be the truth of the message of A Course in Miracles, I can talk for hours and I can give you all the quotes, and I have for 39 plus years, and it won't matter because you don't really want that to be true. People don't really want that to be true. I think a lot of it is just they're kind of afraid that they're not going to be able to succeed. It's really just defending themselves because of the fear of failure. It's just a really depressing way to live life. Live at risk failure. It's just more fun and more adventurous and more positive and more, I don't know, joyful to live a life where you're the Christ and you're here to work miracles. Miracles of your mind, yes, but miracles that then manifest out there in the world. And I have been, I've firmed this up, obviously, but I think I've always given this teaching in one form or another. So I've been repeating this for 39 plus years, and it's okay. Course of Miracles says all good teachers realize that only fundamental change will last, but they do not begin at that level. Strengthening motivation for change is their first and foremost goal. It is also their last and final one. So it isn't about really giving the quotes that prove my interpretation, I guess, or that spotlight what I'm trying to focus on, what the Course I feel is actually saying. the real change, fundamental change, and it said good teachers, and I definitely want to be a good teacher. I think I am a good teacher, and I want to be a good teacher. My main job is to get people motivated to change, which actually means my main job is to live my life in a way that it is a demonstration that the way I think about things might be advantageous. It might be desirable because of what my life is like, because what my attitude is like. And again, that's a great motivation to inspire in other people, but it's a great motivation for myself. I want to keep myself upbeat. I want to keep myself happy. And the way I do that is making other people happy, making other people understand that they are safe from all disaster because they're miracle workers and they can change those things that appear to be a problem. Not just ignore them, which is, as I said, still kind of a form of attack, but really change them. So that's what I'm focusing in on today. Manifest healing, manifest comfort, manifest blessing, manifest happiness. And you will be happy as you inspire other people to be happy. And you will be healed as you heal other people. And you will feel comfort when you help others feel comfortable. And you will feel blessed when you bestow blessings on other people. And that's the happy dream. And we will live in that happy dream because that's the miracle worker's destiny. And that's all our destiny as miracle workers. Okay, that's my talk for today. Thank you for listening.
A flower is a beautiful thing. It grows to the quiver of a fife that sings. I can take it with the wave of my hand and place it upon my music stand. Such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing. The world is a marvelous show.